Hello and welcome to the Painting Podcast. I'm Jeremiah Polachek, and I am not an art historian. Today we're going to be talking about nostalgia, Picasso, Monet, and Thomas Kincaide, and how all these ideas of kitsch and sentimentality interplay with one another. Because within painting, nostalgia and sentimentality are often criticisms that people will lodge against certain painters and certain artworks. So let's get into it and dissect what nostalgia is, what sentimentality is, and what artists are using it right and what artists aren't using it right, and how does this all relate to your own artistic practice and the way you create work and deal with the subject matter that you're painting as well. Nostalgia. It's a complex and captivating emotion that can evoke both positive and negative experiences. Let's get into the duality of nostalgia and explore why it can be both good and bad. On one hand, nostalgia can be a source of comfort and joy. It transports us back to cherished memories, reminding us of the moments, people, and places that shaped our lives. It allows us to reconnect with our past selves and experience the warmth of familiarity. Nostalgia can provide a sense of stability and security, especially in times of uncertainty and change. It offers solace by creating a bridge between our present and the memories that hold deep emotional significance. Nostalgia has the power to uplift our spirits, evoke laughter, and foster a sense of belonging. It brings people together, as shared nostalgia can create bonds and foster a sense of community. Through nostalgia, we revisit cultural touchstones, childhood experiences, and even historical events, strengthening our collective identity and fostering a sense of continuity across generations. However, it's important to also acknowledge that nostalgia can also have its pitfalls. It can be deceptive, painting on an idealized and romanticized version of the past. Nostalgia often glosses over the hardships, struggles, and flaws that were an inherent part of the bygone times. This idealization can distort our perception of reality, leading us to yearn for an imagined past that may or may not have ever actually existed. This is how nostalgia can trap us in the past, hindering personal growth and preventing us from fully engaging with the present. It can create a longing for a time that is gone, preventing us from embracing new experiences and opportunities. By fixating on the past, we risk missing out on the beauty and potential that lies in the present moment. Think of paintings that depict idyllic landscapes, evoking the serenity of the countryside, of the charm of small-town life. Or consider photographs capturing candid moments of pure joy and laughter, freezing in time the fleeting nature of happiness. These artworks can transport us, if only momentarily, to a place of comfort, reminding us of the beauty and simplicity that once enveloped our lives. However, things aren't so easy, are they? As mentioned previously, it can also have a darker side, blurring the lines between reality and idealized versions of the past. This can lead to seeing the world through rose-tinted glasses and a nostalgia that romanticizes or distorts history, sometimes even erasing uncomfortable truths. This approach to nostalgia has the potential to stagnate creativity and perpetuate a longing for a past that can never be recaptured. Artists must navigate this terrain delicately, being mindful of both the seductive allure and the potential pitfalls of nostalgic themes. One must strike a balance between honoring the past and embracing the present. It is a delicate dance, one that requires introspection, critical examination, and an understanding of the complexities inherent in the human experience. Through art, we often must confront nostalgia. Let's take a look at how Picasso's work relates to ideas surrounding the concept. Picasso made work from his own experiences and personal connections. He was known to draw inspiration from his childhood memories, his relationships, and even historical events. In Picasso's masterpiece Guernica, created in response to the bombing of a Spanish town during the Spanish Civil War, he captures the horrors of war and the deep sense of collective pain and loss. While not explicitly nostalgic, Guernica elicits emotions of sadness and reflection, reminding us of the devastating impact of a past event. Picasso's Guernica should not be considered a nostalgic piece because its purpose transcends the sentimental longing for a bygone era. Instead, the painting serves as a poignant and visceral depiction of the horrors of war and the suffering inflicted upon innocent lives. Guernica captures the anguish, chaos, and brutality of the bombing of Guernica during the Spanish Civil War, standing as a powerful anti-war statement. It confronts the viewer with stark imagery, distorted forms, and haunting symbolism, challenging the romanticization of the past and forcing us to confront the harsh realities of violence and oppression. Picasso's intention was not to romanticize or idealize the subject matter, but rather to expose the stark reality and convey his anti-war message. By invoking shock, outrage, and contemplation, Guernica urges us to confront the harsh truths of war and serves as a catalyst for empathy, reflection, and social change. It stands as a testament to Picasso's ability to harness the power of art to provoke thought and address profound societal issues, making it a far cry from sentimental art that merely aims to evoke nostalgic emotions. It is important to note that nostalgia and sentimentality are closely intertwined, as they both tap into our emotions and memories, evoking a longing for the past. Nostalgia often leads to sentimentality, a sentimental attachment to specific memories, objects, or experiences associated with that past. Sentimentality can be seen as a heightened emotional response, triggered by nostalgia, imbuing those memories with a sense of sentimental value and significance. Both nostalgia and sentimentality can transport us to a sentimental state of mind, where we embrace the sentimental aspects of our past, cherishing the emotional connections and sentimental attachments that come with it. However, while nostalgia can be a genuine reflection of fondness and connection to the past, sentimentality can sometimes veer into a sentimental idealization, blurring the lines between reality and an idealized version of the past. Nostalgia, with its tendency to romanticize the past and yearn for a simpler time, can be manipulated by authoritarian regimes to fuel nationalist sentiments and justify oppressive ideologies. By invoking a nostalgic longing for a mythologized past, fascist movements can exploit the sentimental attachment people have to a particular identity, culture, or idealized version of their nation. The manipulation of nostalgia and sentimentality can create a fertile ground for the propagation of exclusionary and discriminatory ideology, as it taps into the emotions and desires of individuals who feel disoriented by rapid societal changes. By promising a return to a glorified past, these movements manipulate and distort nostalgia, using sentimentality as a tool to manipulate public opinion and garner support for their authoritarian agendas. So how does this relate to painting? Well, sentimentality and nostalgia are two lenses that paintings can be viewed through. However, what is and what isn't nostalgic or sentimental is often not so clear. Let's take a look at one artist who is often thought of as a very sentimental and nostalgic painter, and that's Thomas Kincaide. Kincaide's meticulously crafted landscapes, bathed in soft, glowing light, evoke a sense of warmth and tranquility. His idyllic scenes, often featuring charming cottages, cozy streets, and pristine natural settings, transport us to an idealized world, tapping into our longing for simplicity and harmony. Through his use of vibrant colors, meticulous details, and an emphasis on nostalgic settings, Kincaide's paintings embrace sentimentality by appealing to our emotions and desire for a romanticized past. However, it is essential to critically analyze these works and consider the tension between the allure of sentimentality and the potential for its manipulation. To contrast this, we can look at Picasso's exploration of sentimentality, which can most notably be seen in his blue period, a phase in which he predominantly used cool blue tones and depicted melancholic subjects. Paintings like La Vie and The Old Guitarist evoke a sense of vulnerability, isolation, and introspection, touching on the human condition and the fleeting nature of time. It is worth emphasizing that this phase of Picasso's career also coincided with a period of personal loss and introspection. The suicide of his close friend, Carlos Casagemas, profoundly impacted Picasso, driving him to explore themes of melancholy and sorrow. The blue period paintings, characterized by a predominantly blue color palette, captured the emotional weight of Picasso's grief and the wider human condition he was trying to portray. Through poignant depictions of impoverished individuals, beggars, and isolated figures, Picasso conveyed a profound sense of empathy and compassion. These artworks emanated a sentimental quality, inviting viewers to contemplate the fragility of existence and the depths of human suffering. Picasso's ability to channel his personal grief and translate it into profound artistic expressions exemplifies the power of sentimentality as a catalyst for introspection and connection with others. Many critics would argue that Thomas Kincaide would use sentimentality in his artworks and veer into the territory of kitsch and commercialism, ultimately diminishing the integrity and artistic depth of his work. Kincaide's idyllic and picturesque scenes often present an idealized vision of the world, portraying an excessively sentimental and saccharine version of reality. This aesthetic approach, while resonating with a wide audience, can be seen as pandering to popular taste and pandering to consumers' desires for nostalgia and comforting escapes from the complexities of contemporary life. By perpetuating a formulaic and highly commercialized style, Kincaide's work has been accused of lacking artistic substance and originality. It relies heavily on the appeal of sentimentality to drive sales rather than offering critical engagement and deeper introspection. Its overly polished and perfect nature can be viewed as deliberate avoidance of the complexities and challenges inherent in the world today. In this sense, I would argue that Kincaide's use of sentimentality falls short of the transformative potential of art and instead caters to a superficial and mass-market sentimentality that ultimately hinders the exploration of more nuanced and thought-provoking themes. But this brings up another question, and that is whether or not artists are obligated to take on these sorts of issues within their artwork. The work of Claude Monet provides another example of an artist grappling with challenging themes during times of war. Monet continued to paint throughout periods of conflict, including the Franco-Prussian War and World War I. Despite the tumultuous backdrop of these wars, Monet's focus remained on capturing the fleeting beauty of nature and the effects of light on his subjects. His series, such as Water Lilies or Rouen Cathedral, offer a juxtaposition to the grim realities of war. While it could be argued that Monet's dedication to his artistic vision was an escape from the harshness of the world, you could also argue that his commitment to portraying moments of serenity and natural beauty in the face of conflict is an act of defiance against the darkness of war. So think about the differences between Thomas Kincaide's Cabins and Monet's Water Lilies. Why is one sentimental and the other is not? But let's get back into nostalgia, specifically as it relates to artists looking at painters from the past and incorporating their ideas techniques and approaches into their own work. Another way in which nostalgia can manifest in an artist's work is through their approach to the works of those that came before them, which with painting goes a long way back. Picasso, for instance, loved the work of Diego Velázquez, El Greco, and Francisco Goya. He drew inspiration from their work, studying their technique and styles, particularly during his formative years. These influences played a significant role in shaping his artistic development and driving his ambition to challenge the conventional boundaries of representation. Well, that and the fact that he was also an extremely accomplished painter by the time he was 14 years old. However, the question arises, can the act of drawing inspiration from the works of a past artist be considered nostalgic? I would argue that it should not be viewed as such. While Picasso acknowledged and learned from the artistic legacies of those who came before him, he reinterpreted their techniques and subject matter in a revolutionary manner. Therefore, rather than mere nostalgia, Picasso's engagement with the works of the past exemplifies a dynamic and transformative artistic dialogue. This transcends the boundaries of what we would consider nostalgia. However, delving deeper into the matter, if an artist today were to paint in a manner reminiscent of Picasso, it could indeed be seen as nostalgic. In such a case, the work would lack innovation and fail to incorporate contemporary changes in the discourse and approach to painting. This is not to suggest that all art must be revolutionary. However, if one imitates the style and approach of an artist from a century ago, it becomes essential to contextualize how it relates to the present artistic landscape. While paying homage to past masters can be a valid artistic pursuit, it is crucial to explore new perspectives, concepts, and techniques that reflect the zeitgeist and contemporary artistic sensibilities. By doing so, artists can maintain a connection with the past while contributing to the ongoing evolution of art and avoiding a stagnant, purely nostalgic approach. So I hope you've enjoyed this journey through the diverse artistic approaches of Thomas Kincaide, Picasso, and Monet, each offering unique perspectives on painting. As you embark on your own creative endeavors, it is essential to reflect on how you incorporate themes of nostalgia and confront the reasons behind their inclusion in your work. It is not inherently wrong to draw inspiration from the past or shield oneself from engaging with contemporary events. But as artists, it is crucial to be aware of the power of nostalgia and sentimentality in artwork and how they are employed. When guiding my students, I often encourage them to define their subject matter and themes, which serve as a starting point to explore a breadth of different artists and deepen the conceptual underpinnings of their work. For instance, depicting figures and interiors may seem like a familiar subject matter, but such paintings can still resonate and forge profound connections with viewers today. By acknowledging the potential impact of nostalgia and sentimentality, artists can navigate their creative choices more consciously and foster meaningful artistic experiences that will transcend mere nostalgia. Nostalgia is a tool in an artist's tool belt. There is nothing wrong with using it. Just be aware of why you're doing so and the potential pitfalls that come along with it. So thanks for sticking around all the way to the end of the podcast. If you are into this sort of thing, please check out oko.academy, which is my one-on-one mentorship service that I have in Prague. In Prague, Czech Republic, I'm actually doing one-on-one mentorships in real life. And then you can also get some coaching sessions online as well. So head on over to oko.academy to learn more about that. And as always, you can check out Painting-Course, and you can take my entire free course online for free. Please don't forget to, like and subscribe, do that whole deal. And thank you for listening. That's it. Until next time, happy painting.